Yeah. You know what I mean, man? It's that old school YBI music, heroin shit, man. Hey.
Alright, so it's Clarissa here with Maple Nation. I have Detroit's own Seven the General here at Top Studios in Dearborn. Thank you so much for taking the time to come out and spend it with us and do this interview first and foremost. So
I appreciate y'all for having me. Thank y'all.
No problem. So now, for anyone who doesn't know anything about Detroit, what exactly does the name Seven the General mean?
Seven the General. The name comes, first of all, I'm from 7 Mile and Evergreen, so a lot of people just, when I was incarcerated, yes, I was incarcerated, they called me Young Seven as a reference to my neighborhood.
Oh.
And then the General came as my rap moniker because I was like leading a bunch of different rap guys around the prison yard, you know what I'm saying, so they called me, it just started sticking, Seven the General.
Seven the General.
And I liked it, so I kept it.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's a good story. Alright, so now, one of the first times we heard about you was in a documentary, Detroit Murder City.
Yeah.
And you did mention something about 7 Mile Dog Click.
You can't get this kind of shit tattooed on you, my nigga, in prison, if you ain't repping something. Them letters across the top of that shit, too. That means 7 Mile Dog Crew, all day.
Can you tell me what that's about?
Well, 7 Mile Dog Click, that's just the neighborhood, you know, I mean.
Okay.
It's a bunch of different factions and parts of 7 Mile from west to east. And where I'm from, our particular area, we called ourselves 7 Mile Dog.
Evergreen, dog. I'm from 7 Mile, the west side capital. Home of the traffic, dude, cause niggas get the package through. Say I got a pack to move. Wolves, we attack the fools. So niggas sort of bagging to them, bagging up your avenue.
So that was, when I said that on the documentary, it was to let the public of Detroit know. I didn't know the world was going to see it at the time.
Oh, right.
It was to let the public know that I was from this particular area of 7 Mile and not 7 Mile the whole, even though I got love for the entire mile.
Gotcha. Which leads me, it's a good thing you said that because it's not a heavy gang culture in Detroit compared to like the West.
Right.
But why do you think it's so important for people to call out 7 Mile, 8 Mile, Joy Road, that kind of thing, to let them know where they're from?
Because each one of these neighborhoods in Detroit have historical significance to different people. Like, you know, by me being from 7 Mile, when I say I'm from 7 Mile, then I'm telling everybody in the world or everybody in the city that I represent the guys that came from 7 Mile before me. So I'm saying to you, if I can stand up and say I'm from 7 Mile and no one objects to this, then you know that I must be, I must have some kind of pull on 7 Mile.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yep. Makes sense. Okay, so now, as far as your talent and everything, you have a strong and distinctive voice, along with a certain flavor of your own. So what inspires you? What inspires you to do what you do?
Everything. I mean, music. First of all, music. That's first and foremost. Music inspires me. Listening to other people's music, hearing it, hearing what's new, but also, of course, the environment. Mm-hmm. But I'm not just gonna say the hood. Like I get inspired by little stuff. It could be a melody in a commercial.
Right.
Because I just love music. So it's music that inspires music. I mean, it's music that inspires me. Period.
Right. Nice. Okay. Nice. And also, what are some of your favorite musicians?
Of all time?
Of all times, from Detroit in particular.
It's so many. I got so many. I can go anywhere from Jay Dilla to Esham to Street Lords to Rock Bottom to, I mean, even on the Lil Wayne, and it goes on. It's so many different influences, especially with hip hop, that I'm influenced by. But other musicians is, of course, like Marvin Gaye and Stylistics and the Dramatics and the Temptations, because them the guys who, to me, made music fun. When I look back on it, I wasn't from that era, but when I look back on it, I want to be an entertainer of that volume.
Definitely.
Sure.
All right. Now, would you say Seven the rapper compared to Seven the man? Like, is there a big difference there? Family man?
Well, I mean, I try to be the same person rapping that I am in real life, but of course, in my rap persona, I have to magnify certain things that I probably don't do in my own life, and I have to speak for certain people who can't speak for themselves. And of course, I don't do everything I rap about. I don't believe none of the rappers that rap do. But I speak from, anyway, to answer your question, what's the difference between Seven the rapper and Seven the man is that Seven is an entertainer and Seven the person is just a silly guy.
Yeah?
He's still an
Oh, he's
entertainer.
still the guy? All right.
He's still
all
an
right.
entertainer, I
Okay,
guess.
okay, nice, nice. Okay, and now on numerous occasions we hear there's haters from Detroit. Now, do you think there is an animosity between different Detroit artists, including yourself?
No, and I'm being honest. I don't believe there's an animosity towards Detroit. I mean, between Detroit artists. I believe certain Detroit artists have their issues amongst each other,
Right.
and that issue might spill over into the music because they are hip hop artists. But I believe you have guys who are looked at as on, and then you got guys who look at those guys and think that those guys are on, and they become envious from that standpoint.
Right.
But to me, if no one has an actual deal, shout out to Big Sean, K. John, and D12 and those guys like that. Other than that, all of us are I don't care if you on the radio 5 times a week or if you're doing the open mics. We all on the same level, so it
Right.
shouldn't be no
Right.
envy.
So yeah, I was gonna ask you about Big Sean too. Like,
Yeah,
what
for
do you
sure.
think of his upcoming? Like,
I think it's phenomenal.
how
I
do
think
you do that? Like,
I mean, everybody got a different path. Big Sean,
Right.
you know, his path is known. He went at Kanye the way that he needed to. It might not work for me. It might not work for the next guy, but it was his time, and that was what his route entailed.
Right.
And what he's doing for Detroit, to me, his new mixtape is called Detroit. So he's bringing spotlight as a major artist from Detroit. He's bringing spotlight to Detroit, not as if we didn't have it, but a new, fresh spotlight
Right.
for all the new, young, and up-and-coming artists. Not even myself, but for those right this second. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's fresh. I like Big Sean.
all right, good. Now for like say Royce 5'9", it took him a while to get to where he's at and getting that shine. Why do you think it's so hard for Detroit rappers to transition into the mainstream and the major?
Because there's really no industry in Detroit.
Okay.
There's no Capitol Records. There's no Interscope. There's no Jive. And there's really no A&Rs. And Detroit is looked at as an alley in the world. We looked at as a trash can or one big ghetto. It's like, that's how I believe that
Yeah.
the world looks at us. Like, we looked at it as a trash can. So no one's coming. If you could live anywhere in Detroit, I mean, anywhere in the world, someone asked you, you wouldn't pick Detroit. You understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't pick Detroit. I would, because I'm from there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing else. But the average person wouldn't say, yo, I'm about to take a vacation. Let me go to Detroit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I feel you. Yeah,
So-
I feel you. Yeah.
Because it's that kind of city, it's harder for us to transition into a mainstream look. But you got guys who are mainstream. That's why, I mean, I believe that if we keep it this way, that when we do reach that plateau, it'll be authentic. I don't want to be, no disrespect, I don't want to be Big Sean.
Right.
I got mad respect for him, but I don't want to be him. I got mad respect for Lil Wayne and a lot of these other guys, but I don't want to be him. 7 is 7.
Right.
If I can be respected for being me, that's what I want to be. If I can't, then there's no lane for me.
Right. Fair enough. So let's talk about some of your new projects coming up. What's coming up from 7?
I got a slew of stuff because I know for a lot of people, you know, they only know me from either the documentary or from like my earlier videos. But I got a whole album right now that's coming out with Nick Speed. It's called Art. Love Nick Speed.
He's good dude.
That's
He's
my
good.
guy.
He comes to Windsor once in a while.
Yeah, see, he
Yeah.
do what he
Yeah,
moved
yeah.
for me. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come bring that album over there to Windsor. Shout out to DJ Needles. You know we gonna get that over there. That's my guy. Mad love for him. It's called Art. All Relative Things. It's 10 songs produced entirely by Nick Speed.
Nice.
Real rare features. Only people I got on there is like Guilty Simpson.
Okay.
I got Bizarre. I got another young up and coming brother from Grand Rapids called Nate Paulson, and my brother B Down the Boss. But other than that, it's really just all me. And after we release this free album, we putting out my 7 the General album on Legends Entertainment. That's gonna be the entire album where it's gonna be everything you've been missing: the hood music, the hip hop, even the love songs for the girls.
Nice. Gotta have some of those.
You know it.
All right. So now, as far as Trick, I know you just did a song with him.
Yeah.
What is your relationship like with him?
Trick is OG. You know.
Yeah.
Trick. He always showed me love from day one because I showed him love. I didn't go like, you know, what's up? That's Trick. You know.
Right.
Off rip, you automatic. And Trick's from 7 Mile. He's an OG dude from 7 Mile. So off rip, he's from the BK 7 Mile set. I'm a 7 Mile dog. He's from 7 Mile BK. So that's what I mean by
That's
the
what
different
you were
factors.
talking about,
He's
okay.
down the street. You see what I'm
Gotcha.
saying?
Yeah.
But every time I've ever seen Trick, it's always love. He tell me to come through and get beats, and I'm coming. Diesel is his brother. I do a bunch of stuff with Diesel and the whole Goon Squad camp. They love me. It's
Nice.
all love with Trick Trick.
Good, good. Now, where can we find some of your music?
Definitely on iTunes if you want to buy it. But
Yeah.
you can go to SoundCloud.com/7 the General. All my URLs are 7 the General. SEVENTHE. I did it that way because that's how my street is spelled. 7 the General. You can get it anywhere. Go to any of my URLs, YouTube, whatever. Check it out.
Nice.
And livemixtapes.com is where the new mixtape is coming with me and Nick Speed.
Okay, awesome. Now, I understand that you and Windsor Rapper Russell have some sort of a connection there as far as William Talbot.
Here we at McDonald's. Say something to the fellas at home. Say something to D.
Who was William Talbot to you?
He's my cousin.
He's your cousin.
He's my blood cousin. My aunt
Nice.
and his father have been married all my life. Now, she didn't have him. She didn't have William, but all I know is my Uncle Lonnie, his father, as being my uncle. So that's my cousin.
That's your
And we
cousin.
grew up just like any other cousins that grew up. I didn't know about their life in Windsor as much because we didn't get to come to Windsor as much. When we did go to Windsor, we went over their house and we came back to Detroit, you know. And there was so much to get over to Canada back in the day. It wasn't as hard as it is now, but it was so much for us to come from the west side to go over there that we waited for them to come to Detroit.
Right. Nice.
But rest in peace.
Definitely.
William.
Definitely. Now, your Young Boy Fresh song and video, that song is dope.
I said I'm young boy fresh in my young boy specs. Got a dip from the chain in the middle of my chest.
I'm young boy, fresh herringbone on my neck. Got a cow high belt and some.
I was listening to that earlier, I listened to it before, it's really good.
I appreciate that.
I need you to explain something for me here.
Okay.
What is YBI?
YBI is Young Boys Incorporated.
Okay.
That was a large drug gang that was originated in Detroit. They pretty much taught the world how to sell not drugs but crack. The reason that I made that song was not to say that I'm a part of the Young Boys or I'm this tough guy that was raised with these guys. It was to pay homage to the guys who have been forgotten.
Right.
And when you got the Young Jeezys and you got the Gucci Mans and the OJ the Juice Mans and the Rick Rosses and they all speak about these guys, they all had to get their persona from one place. And it all came from Detroit. No disrespect to New York and Rich Porter and those guys in LA and different places, but we know for a fact that the Young Boys helped usher in the era.
I'm from the